You were busy, but were you building? This is the trap I want to talk about today, and it has a name. It's called Overwhelm. And the reason I want to take it seriously is that it's not just a productivity problem. Left untreated, overwhelm becomes anxiety. Anxiety becomes avoidance. And avoidance, over time, becomes something that looks a lot like burnout. And burnout doesn't announce itself. It arrives slowly and then all at once. So let's catch it early. In my experience, overwhelm comes from 3 places, and most founders are dealing with all 3 simultaneously. The first is the yes problem. You take on too much because you don't say no, and I understand why. Saying no feels like disappointing someone. It feels like a missed opportunity. It feels like you're not being a team player, or not being grateful enough, or not working hard enough. But here's what actually happens when you can't say no. You say yes to everything, and then you deliver nothing properly. You upset the person you were trying not to disappoint, and every other person you made a commitment to. The attempt to avoid disappointing anyone results in disappointing everyone. The second is the completion problem. You have too many projects half done. And this is more costly than most people realize, because your brain does not treat an incomplete project as finished. Every single open loop on your to-do list is silently demanding your attention, and your brain keeps a tab open for it. And you've got 15 tabs open, 20, maybe more. Neuroscience has a name for this, the Zeigarnik effect. Your mind is biologically wired to keep returning to incomplete tasks. So every project you haven't finished is quietly consuming mental energy. And even when you're not consciously thinking about it, the list isn't just growing, it's draining you. The third is the noise problem. And this one is the one I think about most in the context of this series. John Aldrich, in his book, Get Your Life Back, makes an observation that I think is one of the most important business insights of our generation. He says, we are being discipled by the internet. We're not being shaped by what we choose. We're being shaped by what the algorithm serves us. The Netflix series, the doom scroll, the podcast about hustle, the YouTube rabbit hole at 11 at night, the WhatsApp groups that demand constant responses. Your thoughts, your own quiet, creative, strategic thoughts, have almost no space to surface. Because the moment there's silence, there's a screen. And God's voice, your own wisdom, drowned out completely. I want to bring in a reference that I think maps perfectly into this conversation. It's from Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. You probably know the story about Martha and Mary, 2 sisters, both hosting Jesus in their home. Martha is doing everything, cooking, serving, organizing. She's running the business. She's the operator. Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet, listening. And Martha, understandably, is frustrated. She goes to Jesus and says essentially, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work? Tell her to help me. And Jesus says something I think every founder needs to hear. He says, Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed. Indeed, only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her. Now, I want to be careful here because I'm not suggesting that your operations don't matter. Martha was right that the work needed to be done. What Jesus is pointing to is the order of things, the priority. What comes first? Martha was doing everything except the one thing that would have given everything else meaning and direction. Does that sound familiar to you? Here's how I read this as a business conversation. Martha had good intentions. She was working hard for the right reasons, but she was so deep in the execution that she had lost sight of the source. She was running on her own fuel, and her own fuel was running out. The world says, hustle, hustle. There are entire podcast networks built around helping you to hustle harder. There are productivity systems, morning routines, cold plunges, all designed to help you do more. But Jesus is pointing to something different. He's pointing to the one thing. And I want to talk about what that one thing is, practically, for your business and your life. Your business is also overwhelmed. Here's something I want to name specifically for the business owners in this room. The same overwhelm that affects you personally affects your marketing. Just think about it. You have a Facebook account, an Instagram page, a LinkedIn profile, maybe a TikTok someone told you to start, a website you've been meaning to update, a newsletter you send sometimes, and an ad campaign that somebody is running for you that you don't fully understand. Wait, do you even have an ad campaign? That is a marketing overwhelm. And just like personal overwhelm, it produces almost no results because nothing is getting your full sustained attention. Everything is half done. Every platform is a partially open loop. And here's the thing, the solution is the same. You need to do a marketing brain dump. What's open? Decide what to close, what to delegate, and what to focus on. Build a clear strategy, one direction, one platform, one message, and go deep rather than wide. And that is what we've built in the DigiWiz Academy course. It's not a course that teaches you to do everything. It's a course that teaches you the foundations so you can understand how it all works together. So you can make one good decision instead of 20 unfocused ones. We cover strategy, lead generation, the sales journey, keywords research. That's a foundation that makes everything work and pulls everything together. academy.digiwiz.co.za is the link in the description. Let's move on. So let's talk about what to actually do. Insight without application is just inspiration, and inspiration fades an hour from now. I want to walk you through a 4-step process. It's not complicated. It's the simplest possible version of what Martha needed to do, and what I suspect you need to do too. The brain dump. A brain dump is exactly what it sounds like. You take everything that's currently living in your head, every worry, every open project, every commitment you've made, every task you've been avoiding, every idea you haven't acted on, and you get it out of your head and onto paper. Physical paper. Use a physical pen, not your phone, not your laptop. There's a lot of pings and messages that shows up there. There's something also about the act of writing by hand that engages the brain differently. Do not skip this. Just write everything. The grocery list, the clients you haven't called back, the proposal you've been meaning to send, the team conversation you've been avoiding, the business idea you had 6 months ago, the invoice you forgot to follow up on. There's a lot. I know I'm just scratching the surface. Keep writing until you genuinely can't think of anything else. For most people, the first time takes 30 to 50 minutes. Remember, you can't go back. You can't wipe out something that you've written. Don't edit. Just write. You're not writing a document for somebody else to see. You are emptying everything that's in your brain. You can see what's there. And here's something I want you to add that most productivity systems ignore. Write down what is your resentments. The client who paid late, the partner who let you down, the staff member who keeps making the same mistake, the promise someone made that they didn't keep. Unforgiveness is not a spiritual concept for church. It's a cognitive load. It's heavy. It takes up mental real estate. Every resentment you carry is using energy that belongs to your best thinking. Write it out. Name it. Let the paper hold it for a while so your brain doesn't have to. And after the brain dump, stop. Don't go straight to sorting and categorizing and building your system. Just stop. Put the pen down and sit quietly for 5 minutes. The Psalm says, "Be still and know that I am God." This is not passive advice. In the context of your conversation today, it's the most practical thing you can do. In the stillness, something shifts. The emotional charge around the items on your list begins to settle. Your nervous system comes down from its default state of alertness. And in that settling, perspective returns. You cannot make good decisions from a place of overwhelm. You have to calm down first. Now, with a clearer head, I want you to ask a question. If you have a faith practice, if prayer is part of your life, ask God, what do you want me to be busy with? What is my assignment right now? If that language doesn't fit your worldview, ask yourself, everything on the list, what actually matters? Not what's urgent, not what's loudest, what matters. Write down what surfaces. It might be one thing, it might be 3. Don't force an answer, just listen and write what you hear. This is the Mary moment. This is what she was doing at Jesus' feet. Not passive, not lazy, receptive, listening for the thing that matters before she moved. I want to say something directly about hearing from God, because I know some of you are thinking, I don't know how to do that. You don't need a special experience. You don't need to wait for a burning bush, like Moses. Start by writing. Ask the question, and then write whatever comes. You'll be surprised what you carry when you give it somewhere to go, and you give it time to go there. Step 4. After your emotions have settled, after the stillness and the inquiry, do a second, shorter brain dump. This one is different. The first one was evacuating. This one is organizing. Look at your list and ask 3 questions about each item. 1. Can I delete this? Not, should I delete this one day? Right now. Is this actually necessary? Cross it out. Strike it. Let it go without guilt. A cleared item is not a failure, it's a decision. 2. Can I delegate this? Does this genuinely require me? Or have I been doing it because I haven't made the decision to hand it to somebody else? For everything you can delegate, write the name of the person who could own it. 3. What remains is mine. These are your actual priorities. Number them. 1 is the first one. 2 is the second one. You're not allowed to work on 2 until 1 is done. That's the rule. This is not a new system. This is the oldest form of clarity there is. Mary chose the one thing. Jesus said it wouldn't be taken from her. The thing you choose to focus on with full attention and full intention, that is the thing that bears fruit. Before we close, I want to come back to something I mentioned earlier, because I think it's important and most people don't make this connection. Overwhelm, sustained, unaddressed overwhelm, does not just stay in your head. It looks for an exit. So what is your drug of choice? Eating too much? Drinking too much? Working too much? Yes. Overwork is an escape from overwhelm, not a solution to it. Gaming, scrolling too much, sleeping too much, reading too much. Notice the common element. Too much. Too much of anything is not a good thing. It's not the activity itself that signals the problem. It's the excess. It's the using this to not feel that. Overindulgence in anything is a sign that something inside needs your attention, not more of the thing. The brain dump, the stillness, the inquiry. These are not just productivity tools. They are the alternative to overindulgence. They are what happens when you choose to face the noise instead of drowning it out. That is a significant change, but it's available today. And here's what I want you to do after this. Book the time. Not one day, within 7 days from today. Block out 2 hours in your calendar, not in your head. Name the block, make it non-negotiable, book it in your calendar. And if you find yourself saying, I don't have 2 hours, that's precisely the signal you need them, that you need them more than anyone else. The less time you have, the more urgently you need to stop and create some. We do the brain dump in a community. After the brain dump, we can actually discuss what we need solutions for. Next week, we are going to go one level deeper. Because once you've done the brain dump and you've had the stillness and you've heard the answer, you still have to change the way you think. Not just what you think about, the actual architecture of your thinking. That is what Romans 12:2 is about. And that's where we're going next. I'll see you there. And that's a wrap on today's episode. If this series is landing for you, if it's naming something you've been feeling but couldn't quite articulate, the best thing you can do right now is subscribe. It takes 1 second, it's free, and it means the next episode finds you automatically. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to do this work in a community of founders who are taking it seriously, come find us at compassion.biz. That's where the co-working sessions happen, where the brain dumps happen, where the 90-day sprint happens. The link is in the description. Until the next episode, slow down, think clearly, and build something real.